In this tutorial, we're going to take a look at tips to have more relevant search results. My name is Jane Germer, and I am the librarian at Doane University for the Psychology Department. You can contact me by phone, email, drop into the library, or you can set up a longer consultation with me by using this link into my calendar. The tips we're going to look at today will help you search more like an expert, and these are the tips that most experts use when they are searching in databases to get better results. The first one is Boolean. That's using an and, or, and not. The second one is how to use quotes and asterisks to get better results. Third is database limiters. And finally, we will take a look at using controlled vocabularies. So the first one is the Boolean connector, and these are the three that most people use. And means that both of your concepts, or if you want to put and in between 3 or 4 concepts, you can do that too, but it makes sure that each of those concepts appears in every single result that you get back. So in this one, trichotillomania and anxiety will show up in every result that when we put this search string in. Or is used between synonyms or related concepts. For example, if you had a very new term that you are searching and you're not getting very many results, you might think about things that are related to it, maybe a broader term or something that's just related to it, or another way of saying it, and putting an or in between those will help. So for example here, hair pulling disorder or trichotillomania, since that's what trichotillomania means, will give us results in those places where the medical term is not mentioned, but hair pulling disorder is. Not is used when you have a concept or term that has many meanings, or you're just happening to see a concept or term in your results that you do not want, and they are not relevant results for you. So for example here, we may be looking for something on trichotillomania treatment, but we don't want drug treatment. So we could put in trichotillomania and treatment, but not drugs, and that will take out that word drugs. So here is how to use and in the concepts, using it, because you'll see here trichotillomania anxiety, we only get 33, but if we put an and in between it, we have more than 530 results for that. Using the or in between this term where I only have 1200, but if I put in the different kinds of ways this might be said in here, I now have over 1300 results. Using the not. Notice trichotillomania and treatment, I have 833, but if I want to make sure none of them have to do with drugs, I will take out that and I get just around 600 results. Using quotes and asterisks. Quotes are used when you have a phrase or, two words that you want to show together. So for example, obsessive compulsive disorder, putting the quotes around it will make sure that you get everything that has that term in it. Same thing with cognitive dissonance. Asterisks are used, and this is called truncation, and you use this when you have a word that might have lots of variations, and you want to make sure that you get all of those in your results. So COGNIT asterisk will return both cognitive and cognition, and OBSESS asterisk returns obsess, obsession, obsessive, obsessed, and obsessional. So you'll get a lot more results with that. For example, here's obsessive compulsive disorder, 22,000. And when we put the quotes around it, we did cut out about 20,000 results out of that search results. Using obsess, just the word obsess, we only get 41. Putting that asterisk behind it, remember there were all those different formations or variations of the word obsess, and now I have over 32,000 results. Database limiters is another way that you can use to get better results. Most databases you will see things like the source type, narrowing down by language, or the date, or that there is full text available for those results. APA databases have very specific limiters that can be very helpful when you are looking for studies and things like that. in the psychology databases, and they do have limiters that are based on age, gender, methodology, tests and measures, and population. So on the APA databases, you will see the general database limiters at the top, and you can use those. And you can also use the ones that are specific to APA, and those are going to be then lower down on that left-hand side of the page. Here's an example of using an age limiter. So this search in the first box, we have 534, but if we narrow it down by age and we choose just one age, the middle age, we will get 105 results instead. Using that methodology limiter can also help you because you are looking for empirical studies, and that is the first one listed here. So you can click on this and get 300 out of these results. Control vocabularies is another way that you might be able to do to narrow your search. Go back down here. Is another way that you can narrow your search or expand your search one way or the other. But controlled vocabulary is a way to use standardized terminology in the discipline to find information on a specific subject. They are assigned by people to the articles based on the content of those articles. You will also find that these articles, these subject headings will also help you find articles with alternate terms, so you might be able to use them for that too. The thesaurus is the standard terminology in an alphabetical source, but it also has things in it such as the scope of the topic. So if you want to know when a medical or mental health issue was first used in the DSM or first used within this database, you can use that. You can find that in the thesaurus, and it will also give you related terms and broader and narrower terms. So for example, doing a search here on hair pulling, if I look at the first article here, here are the subjects that are mentioned here, and I notice that trichotillomania is in here. And so I'm thinking, oh, well, maybe that's what that means. So I might put in trichotillomania into my search, and then I would have hair pulling or trichotillomania just to make sure that they are both there or in one of those. Here is where the thesaurus is. It's at the top, and you'll see it says APA Thesaurus of Psychological Index Terms. When you click on that, you will type in your term up in this browsing area, and down here is the alphabetical listings of them. So I would go in here, maybe I'll find, instead of obsess, I'll find obsessions, and I will go in there and take a look at what that has to say. So if I click on obsessions, you'll see that it gives me all of these different terms here. It was introduced in 1967. Here's the broader term. Here are the related terms. Maybe I want obsessive compulsive disorder, so I click on that. This one actually has a scope note and tells me how this disorder was characterized. And so then I have even more terms here: anxiety disorders, narrower terms, related terms. Maybe I'm thinking compulsions is what I need. So I can click on that too, use the and in between them or the or, because these are actually more similar. So I would probably change this to or, add them, and then those will be in my search results. So let's take a look at how this works within the database. We're going to go to the page that says Find Articles in this research guide, and we're going to go to the first database here, APA PsycInfo. Typing in hair pulling, because maybe I don't know the word trichotillomania. I see I have 1,000 results, or a little bit over 1,000 results, but I also notice that there is a word trichotillomania here, or maybe I'll say, oh, well, hair pulling is two terms, so maybe I should put quotes around it. If I put quotes around it, you'll see now that I have 997 results. I notice that in those results, here is the word trichotillomania. I see it's mentioned several times in here, and it also tells me here in the treatment of trichotillomania, so I'm like, oh, okay, that's what that might mean. So I might take that term and put it up here, and again, the or between them, because they are similar terms, or they are related terms. So I would do that, and now I have over 1,300 results. I take a look at the limiters on the left-hand side. Notice that this topic goes back to 1932, so that's quite a long time. So I might change this and say I only want articles from the last 10 years. I will also notice that the academic journal articles, there's over 1,000 of those. So I might say, yes, I definitely only want the academic journals. And now I have narrowed my search down to 2012 and only academic journals. And I start reading through here and I see the word motivation as a subject. I'm thinking, oh, maybe that's a way that I want to go with my search. So maybe I will put motivation up here. But I also noticed that trichotillomania and motivation are subjects, and if I use these boxes over on the right hand side, I notice that there is one field for subjects, which is what these are. So I will put those, change those to make subjects. So again, I have hair pulling with the quotes around it because it's a phrase, or between it and trichotillomania because those are related terms, but motivation is not a related term, so I will put an and in there, and now I am down to 46 results. I take a look down the left hand side. Maybe there are some other terms here that I want to narrow this down, and so I might go down here and say, oh, there's empirical studies, so I might click on that, but I'm really only interested in ones that have to do with people in their middle ages, so I might click on that too. Notice that this one has 7 articles, this one has 22 articles in it, but when I put both of those in here, I am now down to 5, so only 5 of those articles were empirical and had middle age in them. You'll also notice that this one has an expander in its results, and instead of the word motivation, it puts in the word impulsiveness. So it does have a little bit of a smart search in it to find things that are related. So you'll notice that it used impulse, at least this first one, uses the subject impulsiveness instead of motivation. So those are some of the ways that expert searchers can be more effective in searching databases, and I welcome you to ask me questions in the research in the Padlet. Here's my name and address, or name and phone and contact information again if you need those. Jane Germer here in the library at Doane University. Now, you need to make sure that you complete the quiz for this tutorial, which will be in the box below this tutorial in the research guide. Do that, and if you have questions or you want to make some comments, please put those in the Padlet, which will be in the box below the quizzes. Make sure that you also watch the tutorials Understanding Information Source Characteristics for Psychology Research and the one on evaluating sources.